What is up, my intergalactic friends? Today we're going to talk about a flagship that I talked about previously before the awakening skill occurred. So I want to make sure to redact my statement from the previous videos that I have done about this flagship, because back in the day there was no awakening skill. And with the awakening skill, I haven't really made an updated video regarding to the flagship, and I've said to many of my videos is that this flagship is not something that is worth getting because it is a PvE flagship. And also with the understanding that we have now about the game is quite heavily based on PvE. So if you're really interested in playing a video game, a mobile game, that is heavily on PvE and as well as a PvP, like we have this thing called Galaxy Summit and Outermost Crusade, that does not have any repercussion of losing any amount of troops. The game is for you. This game is called Infinite Galaxy. If you are new to the channel, don't hesitate to subscribe, turn your notification on. Of course, let us know your opinion about the video. So today we're going to talk about the flagship that you can obtain in the campaign shop, which is the flagship called Prometheus. I've actually been buying Prometheus now as much as I can, and I wish I did purchase more in the beginning, and I've kept it and I did not reset it. So majority of players, if you remember, there was a flagship reset that allowed us to reset the flagship, which I did reset the Prometheus to, use some of the Advanced Federation credit into the other flagship. For example, I put it on Hades. Now, nevertheless, I love the Hades, I love the Poseidon, I love the Odysseus, I love the Titan. All of these are great. These are really good PvP and as well as PvE flagship. Now, the difference between these flagship compared to the Prometheus is a flagship that anybody can access and anybody can level up and anybody can rank up. Now, where am I going for this? Now, we have a lot of free-to-play players in this game and a lot of low spenders and maybe mid spenders, and there are certain good amounts of whales or krakens or big spenders that invest into specific flagship that are harder to obtain. Now, the Prometheus is a flagship that can easily be ranked up by obtaining from the campaign shop. Quick thing in here, the Prometheus, you are unable to get Prometheus from the blueprint shop, all right? So Prometheus will not be in this selections, all right? Now, why am I going back to what I said before that, don't invest in Prometheus, but now I'm saying that it's not actually too bad to invest in a Prometheus. When we first started in the game, my understanding was also limited, and as I've grown into Infinite Galaxy, my knowledge has also grown. So with Prometheus investment in here, so one thing you need to understand, when you are fighting in this game, leadership matters, and as you rank a flagship, your leadership increase, and each flagship does have its own base damage and base armor, shield, and everything. The output will be contributed with all the gears that you're going to be putting as well. Now, here's the big thing that I want to talk about, the Prometheus. Prometheus do have a value to you if you are a free-to-play and low spender. It's not going to be the best PvP flagship. I'm not going to say this is going to be the best one that you can have, but this is something that you can have that can sustain you within the game and keep you interested in the game. All right. Prometheus with the second skill, it says here, warship attack when battling non-player units. Now, we have many events that are non-player units. So if you're really enjoying all these events, when you're playing the Secret Signal, when you're playing Ghost Ship, these are some of the events. Lost Star Cluster, these are non-player units. So you can definitely succeed using Prometheus in these non-player units. This is one of the flagships that can really keep you engaged and loving the game by having flagships like Prometheus. Prometheus do have this armor, shield, and warship HP that is going to be buffed. Prometheus does have this skill that allows it to buff up the warship, armor, shield, and HP. Now, this is going to be effective in a PvP mode when you're fighting against player versus player. Okay, The next skill, increased number of deployed. Again, this is going to work for PvP and it's going to work on PvE. Same goes for this one. This will also work on PvE scenarios. So whenever you increase leadership, by the way, you are able to bring in many warship. And when you have many warship, you have many fleets. And when you have many warship, you'll have many, basically I call it troops. You'll have many troops to fight with against other players or against other NPC. Okay, this Imperial Bane, again, this is another PvE scenario when battling non-player units. Now, the big thing that I want to highlight in here is that the game is very heavily on PvE. I think the reason why they do heavily on PvE is for player retention. They want to retain as many players to play this game and enjoy the game by enjoying all the PvE events. So PvE events, it is bigger than what I thought in this game. I came from other games of RTS that PvE is not really the biggest thing, rather the PvP. But in this game, PvE weighs a little bit more in my opinion because PvP has no actual repercussion. When you do the PvP event that they have released, the Galaxy Summit, especially the Outermost Crusade, there's no losses in those nebula. There's no losses in those cross nebula war. So you can have so many fleets and you can go battle unlimited if you have so many fleets. And you can just keep continuing enjoying the game. There's no repercussion. It's because of player retention. That's what I'm thinking. Now, Prometheus though, when you're using Prometheus in the battlefield, when you're able to unlock this awakening skill, it is actually relatively good awakening skill because it's going to inflict total warship attack negative buff towards to the opponent that you are facing, which is can lead up to 20% in the first level of this and then 40% on the second level of this awakening skill. So where is the biggest benefit of Prometheus? It's going to be on the PvE scenario. And in a PvP scenario, I would probably rate Prometheus around 5 to 6 out of 10. That's where it's going to be. But when it comes to a PvE scenario, I would probably rate this one close to 9 to 10 out of 10. If I'm being cheap, I'll say 8, but I think it's around 9 or 10 on PvE scenario. Prometheus is a very good PvE flagship. You're definitely going to get great value from this flagship if you're wanting to rank up onto your PvE. Now, what about my current situation? I've spent money into the game. I've obtained amazing flagship. I have a Max Hades, which is absolutely great destroyer fleet and destroys the enemy as well. And now I'm working on Poseidon. What can I really do by having Prometheus? I can definitely swap things out and bring a Prometheus in a certain PvE scenarios. Now understand, when I'm working on my Poseidon, I'm using on PvE scenario, there are some skills in here that are not effective on PvE, just like this one. Increase attack and shield when attacking other commanders. This is going to be a PvP situation. So I'm not benefiting on a PvE scenario with this skill. So what's the best for me then? If I have the Prometheus, I'll probably score much better on a PvE scenario. If you've invested on the Prometheus, I think you've done a great job because especially when they have unlocked the awakening skill, it made Prometheus much better used on a PvP scenario. Honestly, if they didn't unlock this one, I'd probably be a little bit more reluctant for it. But I've also realized is that with my gaming, for me, since I've spent money into the game, with my flagships, you know, I'm not really chasing for all the purple ones. Actually, I could max any purple that I really want if I'm really interested into getting that. Because as you guys can see, I do have a lot of, you know, Federation credits in here. So probably if I max this, I'll have a decent amount too. And I can definitely, you know, start working on a purple one, which I will still be working on some purple. Now, the biggest thing as well, the biggest issue that I've encountered in this game is XP. The flagship XP is very challenging as well to obtain. So besides that, honestly, guys, my intergalactic friends, wherever you are, whatever nebula you're from, I don't know. Let me know what nebula you're from and you're watching this video. If you're working on Prometheus, it's good. Work on your Prometheus. What's best about Prometheus as well is that you can actually put any type of warship you want with this flagship. You want to go for destroyer, you want to go for cruisers, you want to go for frigates, you can put it whatever you want, right? But I suggest if you're going to use a Prometheus, pair it up with some of the main flagships. For example, if you want to do a Radamantis, I would say go for full destroyers with Prometheus. If you're going for Thesis, I would probably recommend going for something that will bring more DPS, in my opinion. But if you go for Thesis, you can still definitely do a mixed fleet with this one. Apollo, I would say hone in into one, but you can also do a mixed fleet as well. But honestly, I wouldn't really recommend for these, in my opinion. What I would say is that go for the Radamantis. You can do a Brontes, which is a very popular one that players have actually been using. And then you can also use a Orion. So I'm trying to find, where's my Brontes? So Orion, you can definitely use it. Now for your Orion, you make sure you are full frigate for that one. And if you're going for Brontes, which I reset my Brontes, which I need to work on it again, go for full cruisers with Brontes. Besides that, my intergalactic friends, there's a lot of things that we're still learning with this game as its progress. So hopefully you are with me here, and as we're growing in this community, I hope that you are also growing in the game. Anyway, my intergalactic friends, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys again next time.